Oh, that's the wrong one. Sorry.
You don't want that one.
No. Just share your screen again. Sorry.
Hi, ladies and gentlemen. This is my guest, Tom Brechtlein. I just wanted to start with some music while I do my cutting and pasting.
The 2010 one. There you go, that one.
All right. Wow. Just like I remember.
Oh gosh.
Okay, once again, I will introduce my renowned guest, Tom Brechtlein, ladies and gentlemen. Hello. So Tom Brechtlein, obviously a great drummer. He used to live in LA and until about 4 years ago, and in the old days when we were pretty young in our 20s, we worked together. Remember, we had a gig
Right.
job with Gary Willis and
Did
was
Jeff
it,
Richmond play?
I think it was Jeff Richmond. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was an incredible group,
That was a
and
lot of fun.
I remember for some reason this one gig that I saw you play with Mike Miller. I don't remember the rest of the band. It might have been Gary Willis.
Might have been Jimmy Johnson or
Oh yeah, maybe. But I remember being absolutely blown away. Like
thanks.
absolutely.
That group was called Mike Miller and Three Guys Go in a Bar.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Got to have some humor in there, right?
Well, Mike and I have pretty much the same kind of humor. Same thing with Jimmy Johnson
Yeah.
and anybody who played with us, and there's a really cool connection. I like to think between Mike and myself and Jimmy. I mean, I just did a cyber recording for him. I mean cyber. I mean here in the studio. Um, putting drums on on tracks and stuff like that. About two or three that we did. Um, One was called what is it? All cows eat grass. We used to have things called there was this one tune probably at the time that you saw us. We had one called Cave Boy, and then we switched it. And then Mike switched it to what did he switch it to? Cave Boy to I'll remember later, but. There was one called "Here's Another Tune You May Not Care For." We had so much fun, and we still are having fun. I've known Mike since 1982. We've been playing together since 1982.
He's great. And I actually did see him play kind of recently. Recently. It's kind of a
Right.
That's a relative comment.
Yeah.
But yeah, I saw him play. I guess it might have been already like a year and a half ago. Anyway, at the write-off room here.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he's still a really great player.
He's a unique player, and he's an incredible musician and incredible composer too.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that we still have a real solid friendship.
Yeah.
And he's kind of like my brother.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't want to that old dad brother from another mother, but no, he's just kind of just like, really, he's one of my dearest friends. And we connect musically because we used to do this thing. I remember we hadn't played in a while, and I remember this ending was coming, and Mike used to do this every once in a while. He wanted 3 hits like James Brown. He used to go like that, like 2, bat, bat. And we were coming to the end, and we stopped, and automatically, without even thinking, we went like this to each other. We went 3 like that, and we did the 3 hits, and I was like, it blew my mind how connected we were, it was funny too because it was a joke because it's usually 2, 3's an odd number, So yeah, 3, and we both went like this in each other's face on stage at the same time, and that's connected. You know what I mean? It's like
that is.
And we just laughed our butts off, man. It was just such a great moment, Anyway.
Well, your drumming. First of all, I'd like to know. I didn't get to ask you this before we went on, but why did you actually move to near the Austin area? Because it was 4 years ago. I would say not. I would say the mass transgression. What's the word? Moving them.
The big migration.
Migration. Did it really happen?
Migration.
I feel like it happened maybe 2 years later or something, or I don't know.
Right. Well, I miss all my buddies, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But I don't know, it was the cost of living, and it was like, at the time, there was stuff going on, but not. I'm talking about myself. I'm not talking about for everybody else.
Yeah.
And I figured, I just need to change the scenery,
Yeah.
And it was, and it wasn't the people that I knew and worked with. It wasn't that. It was just, just needed a change, and I remember I was doing these lessons and stuff, and I did some clinics in New York. Visited my sister, and yada yada yada. And I came home, and I remember put the suitcases down, had a cup of coffee, hung out with the dogs, and Evelyn was she was doing some work, management work with Chick in Florida. And so I remember I just sat down. I just kind of like, did one of these, like, you know, like, And Evelyn called, and she said, it was like, again, being connected, we were having the same thought, but, And she said to me, what do you think about moving to Austin? And without even thinking about it, I went, yeah, let's go. Let's do it. Sell the house to get out of Dodge,
Yeah, yeah.
And, just got a great thing. I'll tell you about it. It's a project I've been doing for somebody.
Oh, good. Okay.
And anyway, and he said, great, it's great. The stuff I sent him, on the drums here. He just said,
yeah,
great, that's a wrap. I went, anyway.
Hey, Tom, can you turn your volume up a little bit?
Yeah, sure. I don't know which is up. Which one? Okay, I'll turn it up. How's that?
Yeah, good. Thank you.
Good?
Yep.
Okay. So, anyway, we sold the house, and we moved to and Hills, that is. No. So they loaded up the truck and
they moved to Beverly.
Or Round Rocky, whatever. So, and after packing up 7 U-Haul boxes, myself and the drum equipment, some people helped me with that. I was packing to the very moment we left.
Yeah.
And I was gone. Evelyn was driving, and all of a sudden she said she was talking to me, and all of a sudden nothing was coming out of my mouth, and I was like this. But anyway, sold the house, and we moved to Texas. And she, right? And she drove the whole way.
Oh, God.
And she drove the whole way. Did I say move?
No, I think you said drove.
She drove the whole way.
Yeah.
Because she wanted to, I said, let me drive. She goes, no, I got it. She was the Chevy Suburban that we rented, And then the U-Haul people, they picked up all the, we left it in the driveway, which is, these U-Haul boxes,
Yeah, yeah.
Huge, Put furniture in trying to make it fit. The big challenge was putting the washer and dryer in there. I couldn't believe by myself, like, just
Oh, my God.
stuffing that in there, So anyway, we went there and we moved in, and man, I was welcomed with open arms. I'm telling you, I had drummers, musicians calling me. You need any help? Moving in and stuff. I was like, wow, that's Texas hospitality,
Yeah.
And so we moved in November 16th. And then I had to, we moved in November 16th. 17th, we got everything together, moved everything into the house, hooked up all the stuff, the cable, blah-de-blah-de-blah, got a new table, yada, yada. And the 18th, I went off to New York to
Oh, jeez.
Chick Corea's 75th birthday party thing.
Oh, my God.
For 3 nights. And then when I got back, Evelyn found these handymen who did really great craft work on the ceiling and stuff like that. The house is fantastic,
Yeah.
And the people, not to say that the people are not nice in Los Angeles, but the people here couldn't be more sense of neighborhood and friendlier,
Yeah.
It's amazing. I still have to pinch myself.
Huh.
And it's kind of a different planet in a lot of ways.
Yeah. Interesting.
Great musicians here.
There's there's more jazz around there than like Nashville, right?
There's more hardcore jazz around here in more than a lot of places now with UT. They're these young musicians that are kicking ass, man. They're deep.
That's
They're
not
deep
where
into it.
That's not where University of North Texas is, right?
No. This is UT, University of Texas.
Yeah.
I think that's the right name, you know.
Yeah.
And no, the University of North Texas is in Denton.
Okay.
That's about two. I think it's about 2 hours away, 2 or 3 hours maybe.
Yeah.
But there's a. I'm not talking about fusion, if you will, or whatever. I'm talking about straight ahead bebop, jazz singers. I'm doing one this Friday. But when I got into town, I played a lot of acoustic jazz gigs. I thought I was going to be playing a lot of blues and R&B,
Yeah.
but just as it's the same, the same amount, like blues, R&B, hardcore jazz. Not, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, like. Anyway, and some of these kids, way younger than me, I call them kids. They're in their 30s. They're calling out tunes that I don't even know. I mean, these standards or whatever.
Are you talking about Great American Standards, or Great American Songbook, or like more like composer standards, like chick songs and stuff like that?
Both.
Yeah.
Both.
Yeah.
You know, and they're deep into it, and they're great. It's great to see that, you know.
Yeah.
But there's also guys that are pushing it forward too. There are also people that are pushing it forward as well. You know.
That's so cool. I mean, it's great. I've been doing this interview thing for a long, months. Like you're number 275.
Like a T-shirt.
Yeah,
number 275.
T-shirt. But it just makes me. I mean, of course, I knew that jazz was all over the world, or musicians were all over the world. Of course,
Right.
But this experience has really brought it so home and so obvious that we are so connected and so present and so effective. We're making effects in the world.
Oh yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah. Well, it's just like I said, the music community here is really strong. It's really great to see, And now it seems like I'm always the oldest guy in the band. I used to be the youngest guy in the band, but now I'm the really oldest guy in the band. So you can't have it off. You got to be good all the time, or else they go, "Look at that oldest guy in the band."
Right.
And if you suck, you've had it. No, I'm kidding.
That's funny.
So
were in your career, were the longest people that you played with was Chick and Robin?
I played with Chick from 1978 around 1982, 83. And then I played with Wayne Shorter for a year, and then Al Di Meola, and right in between there was playing with Robin. And Robin, probably Robin's the longest. But also I was playing with Joe Farrell, and then I started playing with Robin right after, between when I was playing with Wayne Shorter and with Di Meola, on and off. And then finally we became a band in 1990. Robin wanted a band, and then we went all the way up until. I was playing on and off. I was subbing for Vinny at first, and then around late '87 to '88, we went to Europe. No, we did a little West Coast tour, and then like Pacific Northwest type of deal.
Yeah. And
still weren't quite a band yet, because Robin would do these gigs at my place on the weekends.
That was a great room.
Yeah, and he'd call up. He goes, "Do you want to do the weekend?" I said, "Yeah, sure." And then he'd go play with Miles, or he was in New York at the time, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. And then he had this Then he had this little West Coast run, and we did that. And then in 1990, we used to do quartets and stuff like that. And Roscoe Beck was the one that recommended me for that gig,
Oh.
among other gigs he's recommended me for. And if you know Roscoe Beck, he produced Famous Blue Raincoat. He's played with Jennifer Warnes, Leonard Cohen. He had his own band called Passenger in the late 70s, I believe. Played with the Chicks. Let's see. Who else has he played with? I mean, Joe Ely. Everybody, you know.
Yeah.
And anyway, so remember he would, how I got started with him, started with Robin was through Roscoe. And anyway, so we used to play these weekend gigs, and then we did this West Coast thing. Then we did this European thing. I think it was '89. That was Bob Malik, myself, Bill Boblitz, Roscoe, and Robin. And then we did that for about a week. And then we did this thing in the 90s, not 90s, in 1990. We were going out on the road, like an East Coast type of tour. And I remember Robin calling me up saying, I think we're going to do this gig trio. And I went, trio, huh? And that was the beginning. And then we did that.
And now I have to
tour.
interrupt you here. So what was your consideration on trio at first? You didn't think
Well,
it was a good
I
idea?
didn't know. I loved the Hammond B3.
Yeah.
You know, I just loved it, you know. I'll tell you a little story. We started off that tour. The first gig we played was the Iron Horse in Massachusetts. I don't know if you ever know that.
No.
It wasn't in Boston. I don't know where in
Yeah.
can't remember where it was. No, it might have been Rhode Island.
Uh-huh.
Well, it was the New England area.
Yeah.
Anyway. And we played the gig, and it seemed like we were playing too much stuff because there was no organ. It was just three people.
Yeah.
So, and I remember still being the new guy in the band, and we're in the van, me, Robin, and Roscoe, and Robin's driving, and he goes, and both Roscoe and Robin are going, I don't understand. I mean, everybody played great, but it just didn't quite, you know. And I knew the answer, but you know, I was saying, okay, I'm going to open my mouth, you know. I was like, and I went to the guys and go, you know something? I think we just have to trust the space. Silence. I'm going, oh, jeez. I'm for it now, right? And the two of them looked at each other, and they looked at me, and they went, you're right. And I went, like, in my head, I go, I am? You know? And so the next night was, and then every other night after that was just killing. It was,
Wow.
and we ended off it was right before Christmas, and we ended off at, what's it called? Not the Palomino, in New York. Oh. I'll remember all this when we're done, you know?
Of course.
What was the place? The Lone Star.
Okay.
We ended up at the Lone Star, which was the last gig, and I remember our then tour manager, but then became manager, Dal Booth, who's obviously no longer manages us because we're not a band anymore. You know, we called it the Dal Booth Break Your Back Tour because he set up everything. He did it. Poor guy. And so he had everything packed up, and you know the three of us are standing there, and so's Dal. And so, you know, we said, well, have a great Christmas, you know, We're all gonna have, you know, I guess Robin was still living in New York, you know, and we were about to part ways. I remember we're standing there, and he goes to us, this is it. And me and Roscoe look at each other and goes, this is what? And he goes, this is it. We kind of looked at each other. Then he looks at us, Robin goes, the band! This is the band! And we all went, yeah, this is the band. It's pretty cool, you know? So then we continued being trio. after that. And it was fun. It was
So,
hilarious.
and how many years did that last?
Let's see. 92, about 5 years.
Wow. I don't think I ever saw that band. I saw Robin, but it was way before that. It was like, I saw Robin at Dante's when I was a waitress there, and that was like 76 or
Yeah, that's a long time. That's before.
yeah, that was a long time ago. But I don't know if I saw him much in the years that you were with him.
Yeah, we were. It was a great group, and people still want us to get back together, and that'd be nice, I don't know if it would be the same, but I mean, it would certainly be good. I know that.
Is one of these YouTube things like you with the ponytail? Is that?
Well, that's an instructional video.
The one with Robin and you?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, me, Robin, and Roscoe. But it's part of Talk to Your Daughter.
Oh, okay.
I mean, you can play that if you like. I mean,
I was
it's
just
a pretty
thinking,
good performance.
Yeah, I was just thinking it would be fun just to see a little bit of that because,
That was when I was thin and still had red hair, and it was pretty long.
Hey, Chris.
you had red hair.
Yeah, that's what I had. I had red hair.
Don't you have red hair still?
Nah, it's got a little bit of gray in there. See, it's like
Hey,
it looks more like mousy brown.
I love gray, obviously. So should I take just a little touch of this?
Yeah. I mean, they're gonna go on Roscoe's bass solo here.
Okay.
Plays his ass off.
Yeah.
Well, of course, Robin, that's a given.
Yeah. And Tom.
That was a great group.
Talk about space.
Yeah. He's playing on the dusty part.
Wow.
That's the jungle fish too.
Oh man.
Go, rascal!
Oh man.
Did it!
Woo! Wow. That was delicious.
Those were fun times.
What a meal.
Yeah, we had a blast. We had a
Yeah.
blast. You know, we did four records. And one called the Robin Ford and the Blue Line, second one called Mystic Mile, third one called Handful of Blues, and the other one was called the Authorized Bootleg, which was from Yoshi's in San Francisco. That was kind of an impromptu thing, you know, and you know, it's really funny. It's the old cliche or whatever whatever you want to call it. It's like, you know, when you're in it, you really don't know how good it is, and then when you
Look
kind of
back.
reminisce or see it, you
Yeah.
go, man, we were a great band, you know? It was like, you go, wow, we were pretty good, you know? It's like, you know, so that's the real enjoyable part, you know.
Yeah. By the way, Michael Barsamonto is here. He says hi.
Burst, how you doing?
He said you swing your ass off.
Ha, he does too. You do too.
He's cool, man. Bars.
He's great.
Yeah. Yeah, I know what you're saying. It's well, especially as you get to around this age, you know, then you really do start looking back because there are these periods of your life that are like these, you know,
Yeah.
almost like one lifetime and then another lifetime, you know, and
Yeah.
and it's really interesting to observe all the things that you've actually accomplished and, you know, how that it like that.
Yeah.
so good. And God, you did it for 5 years, and
Yeah, well, we did it longer than that. We were doing it since 85, 86, something like that, So, I mean, playing together, with Roscoe and Robin. And now Roscoe and I have been playing with Eric Johnson. But we did it. We
Who's
already did
Eric
it.
Johnson?
Huh?
Who is Eric Johnson?
He's a guitar player. If you look on the YouTube, if you look up Eric Johnson, Lonely in the Night live.
Okay.
That was from our last tour before they pulled the plug because of the pandemic. Best tour I was ever on. It was Roscoe, Eric Johnson.
Eric Johnson, what?
No, he's a guitar player.
Yeah, what did you say? Look up on YouTube.
Lonely in the Night live.
Lonely in the Night. Oh, okay. All right, I'll bring that for.
You'll see it live. You see it?
Yeah, I do.
It's got me, Roscoe, and this great guitar. It was the best tour I was ever on. I mean, everybody got along from the merch guy to whatever. I mean, it was just. I mean, everybody played great. Every night was fantastic. I mean, all the other tours were fantastic too, but it was just it just felt like a real brotherhood, and it was, and, of course, we started in January 1st, and then up until February 1st, and then took a break, and then February 17th we went out again, and we were supposed to go out until March 30th. And then on March 13th, they sent us all home, and which, I mean, we all know how it affected us all over the world financially, but that it was just, I mean, that tour was such a groove,
Yeah.
and to, like, it was just that kind of, I wouldn't say pissed me off. More than whatever, because you could always make that money back, but just to get that, I mean, I'm sure we're gonna tour again, but because we've been recording in the interim for Eric's newest recording coming out soon,
Yeah.
I mean, it's actually we did Roscoe and I think did about 5 new tunes, but all these are like older recordings that we've played on, and some of the classic trio that Eric had with Tommy Taylor and Kyle Brock and Roscoe. But Eric's one of those great musicians. He's just check out a record called Avia Musicum and Venus Isles.
Say that again. What is
Avia Musicum.
Okay. Music.
And another one called Venus Isle.
Venus Isle, okay.
There's another one. The first one.
Is this records that you're on too?
No, I'm not on those records. I'm on a record called Bloom, of which there were 11 tracks that we recorded, but only 3 made it, that I was on. And then later on, he resurrected some of those tracks, and they'll be on this new one. Stuff that was recorded in '97.
Wow.
Yeah. So it was really fun doing this new project with him.
Yeah.
Because he was taking all these reworking some of these older songs that he had recorded, and he had Roscoe and I play on them, and we just had a blast. We had a blast doing the record before that called Volume 2, which was more of a songwriting thing than a guitar kind of record. But we kind of rekindled old relationships, which was great, because I first met Eric when I first met Roscoe, which was 1984, probably 84. That's where I met Roscoe prior to that.
Yeah.
But very briefly. But we got to play together like in 84, And Eric, myself, and him. Eric was just checking out combinations of bands to work with.
Yeah.
And that's how I got to play with Robin.
Yeah.
So it was that. And then in 96, 97, it's when Roscoe and myself ended up playing with Eric. So it's kind of full circle there.
Yeah.
And then now you come to when I first moved to town here, and last year we became a band again. So it was like this full circle thing.
Yeah.
Which is kind of neat, you know. And it's a real band. I mean, this particular band was great. It was like myself, Roscoe Beck, this great guitar player, songwriter, singer that people should know about. His name is Dave Scher. Dave, Scher. He's amazing. And, I sounded like one of these, remember the old guys with the white patent leather shoes with the gold band and the blue and white checks with the polyester shirt with the bling,
I do remember.
With the unk, and the hairy chest, the bad hair weave and the cigar going. I said to him one time, I said, Dave, you got the whole package. You got the looks, you got the talent, and you got the songs. And I heard myself, and I thought of this guy sitting in the chair going, Dave, you got it all. You got the looks, the talent, the voice, and you got the songs.
Oh my God.
And he does. He's amazing. He's great.
Wow. I have to check him out.
Yeah, but he also plays great bass. He plays great drums, little bastard, and plays great keyboards. But the guitar. He's got this. He's got heart, but he's got all the. Incredible understanding of harmony and he's incredible. He's incredible talent, and I hope people hear of him worldwide really soon.
Yeah,
I really do.
Have you played with Johnny Lang? My friend Dan wants to know.
No, never played with Johnny Lang. That might be fun.
Yeah. Also, my friend, he's a drummer. You might have met him along the way. Andrew Schermerhorn.
I know Andrew. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's here. He said
Hi, Andrew.
He remembers your astounding playing at the Baked Potato during the same time as Jeff Porcaro and Carlos Vega.
Oh, wow.
I was at a table one night with Carlos, Steve Lukather, and we were all screaming as Tom kept blowing us away. Could you have him reflect on Jeff and Carlos, and by the way, Eric Johnson's Big Songs or Trademark and Cliffs of Dover?
Yeah, right. Well, I first met Jeff. First of all, Jeff was a gentleman, and so was Carlos. He was incredible. But I first met Jeff at not Sound City, Tutti Camarada's place. It's right on Sunset Sound. Of course, I was going to say, it's on Sunset Boulevard. Sunset Sound in 1980, I think it was 82.
Uh-huh.
And we're doing Al Vizzudi's record.
Oh, wow. Al Vizzuti, yeah, man.
Yep. So it was the Red Metal record. And so I didn't use Cartage back then. I set up my own stuff. And I remember setting up my stuff the day before. Because Tootie was great. He was a trumpet player, and he owned Sound City. I didn't know he owned Sound City until later.
Huh.
He was this really nice guy, Tutti Camarada. He was just like, he would just say hello, had one of those pocket pencil protect, and he was just a really cool guy, and but anyway, I was setting up my stuff, and I just started playing and just started, and in this particular studio, there's a lounge that's like, here's the main room, and then the control room's up there, and then there's a lounge above it. And I see this guy looking at me while we're playing. And I walked in, and I think, it might have been the control room, I don't know. And I didn't know it was Jeff, but it was Jeff. And he goes, man, you play your ass off, man. It's, Jeff would normally tell people if they were okay, you know.
Yeah.
And I said, "Oh, thanks, man." And I said, he says, "I'm Jeff." I go, "Oh man, you're Jeff Porcaro." I said, "Oh, the whole deal.
Yeah.
I love your playing, the whole deal, which is true."
Yeah.
And he said, "Come on, I want to introduce you to some people." And he was doing a record with Melissa Manchester in the next room.
Oh.
And I think Nathan East was on it and whatever. And there was a contractor, too. It might have been Sandy DeCrescent. I don't know who it was. But he went to everybody and introduced me to everybody in that room.
Oh, wow.
And then he said, "Excuse me, Tom, I'm going to do a take." And he goes in and he had that blonde Gretsch kit. And he did the take, and that was it. And he walked back in and we started talking again together. But he did the take like he was rolling off a log, like, "Oh, I'm going to have a sandwich. I'll be right back." And so that was and then the second time I remember I got off not the second time. I met him many times through that. Yeah. And so I remember this one time I was coming off the road and I got called. I used to work with Ad Music, I used to do a lot of jingles for them. And so they were doing this jingle session for Purdue Chicken at Capitol Studio 2, which I love that studio. It's great.
Yeah.
And so I walk in. I had just gotten off the road the next day. I got this jingle. I said, "Great, do the jingle." Usually you do them over at Ad Music, but I guess they did it at Capitol. And so I walk in, and here we go, name dropping. So Lee Sklar sees me. He goes, "Hey, Tom, how you doing?" I said, I said, "I just got off the road. I'm going to the next room to sell some chicken." He goes, "Well, we're doing Art Garfunkel in here. Jeff's here. He'd love to see you." I said, "Well, I'll go in a minute." I was just kind of going, I'm selling chicken, Well, it doesn't mean anything. Everybody does jingles.
Sure.
So I'm just making sure the drums are okay. By that time, I had cartage. And, and he made a point of going out of the session, and I was going to go in there and say hello, but he came right out when he heard I was there. And he came up to me and he went, "How you doing, man?" He gave me a big hug, shaking my hand. He goes, "What are you doing?" I said, "Well, I'm selling chicken today." He goes, "Great," Like, so listen, it's great to see you, Pat, that was Jeff,
Yeah.
And
the apple doesn't fall far from the tree,
Yeah, no kidding.
His dad was someone like that,
Joe was amazing.
Yeah.
Joe was fantastic. He's great.
Yeah.
Great. I mean, all great guys,
Yeah.
And with Carlos, I first met him. I think I finished playing a gig at the Baked Potato, and he was there. And he says, "Hi, I'm Carlos." He says, "Hey, listen, maybe we could trade gigs, like just each other's numbers and stuff like that, And that's the way he was, I can't tell that one. Well, let's put it this way: when Steve Kahn's trio came out with Steve Jordan, I was on a break and he pulled me out of the club and he locked me in his car. He goes, "You got to listen to this, man." Steve Jordan, and let's put it this way: the car was rather stuffy.
Okay.
I had to open a window. I was like, kind of hold my breath and go, "Sounds great, man." But that's the way he was. I mean, as far as, you got to hear this music. And he knew that you would dig it. He'd be pulling you in the car and sit you down and, and have you listen to it. And, you'd be digging it. And Carlos was always that way. He was another one that was just supernatural. Yeah, I would say supernatural.
Yeah.
born to groove and just play all the right stuff. But by virtue of playing all the right stuff, it was just deep. And he was an incredible guy. I was really glad to have known him, and honored really to know both of them.
Yeah.
As well as all the other guys. Lenny. I mean, the ones that are still alive. Lenny.
Yeah.
Steve Lukather. Mike Landau. Yeah, especially too, and Jimmy Johnson, Mike Miller, above all. I mean, and playing with my heroes, Lila Sklar, you know,
Oh,
uh,
oh my God. I love how he plays. Woo.
Abe Senior.
Mhm.
Oh gosh, just tons of people, you know.
Yeah.
Smitty Smith on the organ.
Yeah.
Uh, Robin Roscoe, of course. Jeez, I could name a John Goo, Biff Hannon.
Biff Hannon. Wow. I haven't thought of him for a while.
Yeah, Gary Willis, Jerry Watts.
Yeah. Yeah. Jerry.
Who else? So Jeff Babco, John Beasley,
Yeah.
Billy Childs, Kei Akagi, Joe Farrell. Oh gosh, even I could name them all. I mean, Patitucci when he was up and coming.
Yeah.
Uh, Jeez, man, I can't. I mean, Mitchell
Oh,
Foreman. Well,
yeah.
Mitch came later on in the mix. I was in LA
Yeah.
before him.
Did you ever play big band?
Me?
Yeah.
When I was a kid, yeah. And
Yeah.
sometimes, you know, with Natalie Cole, I did.
Oh, okay.
Natalie Cole, David Garfield. Let's see, Ernest Tibbs, Ray Fuller, The Weeper. That's a great name, The Weeper. He's like, yeah. Incredible guitar player.
So when you came up, you grew up in New York on Long Island, right? And
Right.
did you start playing drums right away, or was there a different instrument, or?
I wanted to play guitar, but that was too hard, so I went away from it. That was when I was about 4 or 5. And then I started building drum sets
Oh,
out of boxes, you know.
yeah.
Memorial Day Parade would come along, and I'd go like, with the drum corps. Well, the drum corps weren't as like they are now, but still, you know, the brass and the drums, and you know, you go on the corner and there's all these marching bands, and I just go, wow. And then of course the Beatles, you know, and
Yeah.
the British invasion, and
Yeah.
I remember seeing Max Roach on PBS.
Uh-huh.
That blew me away, and then they had these summer jazz programs
Yeah.
on the East Coast, which was great, you know.
Uh-huh.
So by the it was like 12, I was about 14. But no, well, actually, when I usually when you're about like in 3rd or 4th grade, then the school system lets you take lessons and be in the school band, you know.
Yeah, right.
So I signed up for that in the 4th grade.
Yeah.
Learned how to read,
Yeah.
play in a section, play in an orchestra, play in a wind ensembles. And then we had an incredible music program. I mean, all over Long Island, actually. But in East Meadow, we had. It was almost like the high school was the high school was run by this amazing guy. His name is Bill Katz, and there were 3 jazz ensembles, 3 wind ensembles, 3 orchestras,
Wow.
3 choirs.
Uh-huh.
You had to audition every year. Somebody could challenge you if you want, you know. So you had to be,
On top of your game.
you had to be on top of your game all the time. This wasn't a private school. This was a public school with teachers who cared, and Bill Katz was at the forefront. And they had music theory courses, Theory 1, Theory 2, independent study, and this guy, Mike Carubia, ran a thing called Modern Arranging, and then this was in high school.
Oh.
So then we gave up our lunchtime to do improvisation class, learn tunes.
Wow.
You know, this is at, 15, 16 years old. But it was like, it was almost, they were grooming you to play in the high school.
Yeah.
Because the people in the high school go, well, who we got coming up in junior high, you know? Or then the junior high be going, who we got coming up in the elementary school? Because they had all these great players. And when we got to high school, we didn't play the high school curriculum. We played like the stuff,
Yeah.
you know? And even with the jazz ensemble, they'd have guys come in from New York and rehearse us, you know? And it was quite something. It was really, and then we, at Save, we'd all contribute, and we record a record each year.
Yeah.
So you got all of it right there. So when I got to college, it was like a little bit of a letdown. I go, wow. I mean, because I already
know
had this.
You wanted more. You wanted like what was coming next, right?
Yeah, which was then I eventually quit school and went out on the road.
Yeah, yeah.
Not to say that those music programs weren't any. I mean, in college they were great.
Where'd you go to college?
I went to Nassau Community College, which was amazing.
Huh.
And then I don't know why I went to Hofstra. I went to Hofstra for a semester or two, and then I quit to go on the road with Chick.
Oh,
My other buddies,
so young.
They were going to North Texas State, University of North Texas.
Was that the time when you played with Chick when you were that young?
Yeah, I was 20 years old.
Wow.
Yeah.
Didn't you play with him later too?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I played with him in 2004 to 2006.
Okay.
But in the interim, sometimes they needed a drummer for the acoustic band or something.
I remember hearing you with that, and I really, really loved that. That was really great.
Well, thanks. Yeah. I mean, Dave was doing something else, so I said, sure, I'll do it.
Yeah.
But it was 1978 when I started with Chick.
Wow.
And all my all my other buddies were going like, we're going to North Texas. I mean, the University of North Texas. Can't call it North Texas anymore for some reason. I don't know why. But so I said, no, you know what? I'm going to stay here and see if I can get a gig in New York. And it was time for Christmas break or something. I think I already gotten the gig with Chick. And they says, well, how'd you do, man? I said, you're not going to believe this. And they said, what? They says, I got the gig with Chick Corea. They go, you get out of here. You're full of, you know what? As people on the East Coast usually say to you, you sack of whatever,
Yeah.
And I said, no, I start in March, and that was the real. I mean, that was the real education right there.
Yeah.
I mean, now all this stuff that you learn, now you gotta use it.
Yeah.
And then what you don't know, you gotta like at least try and understand it with what you do know.
Yeah.
Already, apply it.
I remember
it's definitely by the seat of your pants. Definitely.
Yeah. I remember I interviewed Peter Erskine once for a newspaper, and he told me the story so he came out of Stan Kenton, right? Which was.
I saw him when I was 16. He was 18. I played with Kenton.
Well, and that band was just real straight ahead, and if somebody does some kind of comping thing, you copy it, right? So then he gets the job with Weather Report, and that is not what that is.
Right.
And he and Joe Zawinul were hanging out listening to one of their live gigs, and there was this moment where it came up that he was copying the comping, right? He was doing the same thing, and he felt all proud. And Joe said, "Too bad you had to do that." And in a flash, Peter learned, oh. I get change operating bases,
Yep. I had a similar thing with Joe Farrell one time.
Oh.
And I remember he had and it was, Joe just had a way with him that was really cool. You didn't feel insulted or invalidated or anything, I mean, he was like a big brother.
Yeah.
And, so we played at Dante's the night before, and I remember we were playing too loud, overplaying, and at least I was. And the air conditioning went out.
Oh.
So the next day I didn't have a particularly good day, let's put it that way, and so Kayakagi, who was the piano player, was an incredible piano player.
Yeah.
And he said, hey, Bread, he goes, Joe wants to see you in the kitchen. And I said, I don't want to see Joe in the kitchen. And there's Joe. He's got the cigarette, like, and the smoke glasses and the hat. And he goes, Joey, get in the kitchen. And like a little whiny baby, I go, I'm not going in the kitchen. He goes, Tommy, get in the kitchen. You know, this is at Dante's. So I go in the kitchen. And he goes, first of all, Tommy, you're playing too loud. You know, and you can't keep chasing me. He goes, I do a little something on top, you do something on the bottom, and we meet in the middle. You know. And I went, and I was like, rah, 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 rah. You know, it's like when your mom something you don't like to eat, and then finally your mom says, well, it's staying on the plate till you eat it, and then you're alone at the table, and then you eat it, and you go, wow, this is good. And your mom pops her head and goes, it's good, isn't it? You know? That's the way I felt, you know, and I was like, rah, 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 rah. So we started off with Captain Marvel. You know, he was saying, you got to be chippy, you got to pop, da, 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 da. And so I said, I'll give you, you know, I'm rumbling. And so we played the first set, and I did everything he told me, but I didn't make it look like I was doing everything he told me to do. And it burned. It kicked ass. And he goes, yeah, Tommy, smoking. And then he goes, now do as I tell you. And I learned from that, you know, you do something on the top, I do something on the bottom. Yeah. And once in a while you meet in the middle.
Yeah. Instead
of chasing everybody.
Yeah.
A lick.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so good like that. You know, I was probably there at that time at Dante's, and you imitated him very well.
I know.
And I remember
Show me, what are you doing?
Extremely well. Yeah, I worked there for a year and a half as a waitress.
Oh, what year did you work there?
Let's see, 75 through 7, something like that.
Yeah, I didn't start working with Joe until about
78 or something.
No, 80, 80, like he passed away in 85. About 84, 83, 84.
That must have been the last years of Dante's.
Yeah, it was. Carrie, I think, sold the place. When did he sell that place?
Well, he didn't actually sell it first.
Oh, he didn't?
He died in the bathroom.
Oh, no.
They were going to sell it to a Japanese guy. And
right.
The Japanese decided, I'm not buying this place because he died in the bathroom, and bad luck, you know.
Oh, wow.
And then it got torn down.
That's right. I remember somebody saying something like he died in the bathroom or something.
Yeah.
Wow. He was a dancer, you know.
You know what? He choreographed and danced in, what's that show that Luck Be a Lady is from? You know,
Guys and Dolls?
Yeah. He choreographed it and danced in it.
The movie or the play?
The movie.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Wow.
You can see him. He didn't have a stomach, you know, that he developed over.
And he didn't have the beard and the mustache.
Probably not. Yeah. But he used to take me and swing me up and like.
He was a big fella.
I didn't have to do anything. He was like the dancer, and he just picked me up and swung me around, and it was yeah. He was a really nice person, but he was kind of manic, you know.
Yeah, he was.
So, and he had a really challenging wife. She was this Chicana, and she was very sexy, and she used to sit on Telly Savalas's lap, and you know, I mean, just you know, it was challenging, you know.
High maintenance. Was she high maintenance?
Oh yeah, and very sexy and very flirty, you know.
Right.
Oh.
Those were fun days, though, you know.
Totally fun. That's
like
another lifetime, right?
No kidding. It was like, you know, if Carrie wouldn't give you cash, if Carrie would give you a check, everybody would run to the bar to cash it.
I know.
Because if you didn't,
I know,
it would bounce.
I know, that is so true.
Oh, I remember 4 guys running up to the bar.
That's so true.
Sign it, cash it.
Hey, I wanted to see that Eric Johnson one, but it says it's from the Capitol Records release, so they might take me off.
That's not it. Let's see.
It's not here. There's another one in Los Angeles. See this one. Let's see. Where is it? Here's Eric Johnson, "Lonely in the Night," live in Los Angeles. I don't know if you were on that one.
Oh, let's see. Lonely in the Night. That's it.
This one? Oh,
Yeah.
cool. We can watch.
Live in Los Angeles? No,
Lonely in the Night.
no, that's not it.
Okay, that is not it. Well, there's one here, but this is. It says from the
No.
Capitol Records release.
No, here it is, right here, right above that. That's it.
Right. I hope it's
Hey,
not
do you wanna-
Capitol, because that's what I'm saying.
Right. I think that's it. I'll know in the beginning when it. This might be just as good. Yeah.
Here she comes, alone at night. She looks in your eyes while she's breaking your heart. And her smile, Mona Lisa style.
There's Roscoe. There's Dave on the far right.
Your heart makes you think you're the only one. And she leaves you lonely in the night. And she brings another's heart. There's no sleep in the night. The dream never lost that fades away. And when she wants, she gets what she wants. She looks in your eyes, and she give you everything.
I'm going to stop just because I kind of have a feel for what they take down, and I don't want to. I don't. Really,
Oh, I see. Yeah, that's right. Copyright.
yeah.
Yeah.
But they probably won't take that down because it was so short. But that sounded really good. What a great singer.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you should hear his guitar playing. I mean, he's like,
Yeah.
they go nuts over him.
Okay. Here's what one thing I want to see
Oh no.
that you mentioned.
Let's see.
Wait, where are you?
Ding.
Of course, that's the sense perceived.
This one.
Oh, algorithm. Hello. Let me straighten my glasses out here. My name is Algorithm. Algorithm. And no, because of my accent, I am not related to Hans Kreiner whatsoever. I was born with a family that had many Oompa groups in Bavaria, and the Oompa. The Oompa. That's kind of stuff there. You could Google me if you like to know more about my drum lessons that I'm going to give you now, just a small one. And so we're going to get into it right now, so here we go. Okay. So what I'm going to teach now, first is I'm going to get the iPhone off of the big drum here. So what we learned, what I'm looking at the camera so that everything is fine. Okay, so I want you to know what this is. This big thing here is what is called the boomer. Because it goes, I mean, you could see that for yourself. It goes boom, 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 right? Yes, boom. This is boom. It's like the big cow going to the pasture before whatever. And this is called the tapper. Because it goes tap, tap, tap. In Bavaria, it's very important, the boomer and the tapper. This is the chica. It goes chick, 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 chick. Chick, boom, chick, boom, chick, boom. I make a little joke. It's probably not very funny. Okay. So, and then you can go splash with the chica. You just go. You go splash. So this is what I'm going to do. You see, in Bavaria you go boom, tap, boom, tap, boom, tap, boom, tap, boom, tap, boom. Right? I think that's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 is boom, 2 is tap, 3 is boom, and 4 is tap. Oh my goodness. All right. If you don't believe me, you can Google it. You can Google it on the Bavarian boom tap rhythms. Okay? Good. Sehr good. Here we go. Okay, so now boom tap. Oh yes, 1 is the first beat. 1, 2, 3, 4. You must have your belly out like me when you do the because, you want people. It's good for the people. They think you drink a lot of beer, so then they drink a lot of beer. And then you have the chica. You could go like this. For like when you want to come down a little bit. It's they call dynamics. That's right. Dynamics, And then you want to get louder, so then you go like. And then if you want to become a whole band, you could do the splasher. But you do it on the boom, not the tap. I show you, watch. Okay, so you got da 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 da. Here we go, the splasher. Da da da. Jokes here, that's American. Okay, so the next lesson we have coming up soon is going to explain what these things are, these drums here, and all this stuff here. Okay, very nice meeting you. I will see you later. My name is Algo Rhythm.
Algor
I will
Rhythm.
See you later.
Algo.
Okay,
Algo rhythm.
Oh, Algo.
Yeah. So I have about I think there are 7 of them.
Oh,
Yeah, there's one the next one explaining what the drums are, like this is the tom-tomas, and this is called the tinger. That's the tinger. There's a ride cymbal. It's called the tinger. And the crash cymbals are called the smashers. That's the next tutorial.
what is it called? Is it called Oompa lesson or is it called something else?
Well, either Oompa lesson or I go algorithm Oompa lesson.
But all 7 of them?
Yeah, yeah. I have a YouTube channel. Oh gosh, a YouTube channel. Who'd have thought? Anyway, oh god, I'm going cyber. But you got to do what you got to do. You know what I'm saying?
You gotta do what you gotta do. It's a different moment in time, and we're just, we're growing and evolving, and yeah, we are doing what we have to do. I'm about to get Logic, and I use GarageBand a little bit, but it's just what I need to do now,
Well, it's a good investment. I mean, what I do a lot of tracking drums. You can see this. I'm in this studio here,
Yeah.
And I got Logic Pro, excuse me.
Yep.
Got my interfaces, yada yada. And for the last actually 4 years, I've been doing it myself rather than have an engineer do it. And it's fun, I mean, you keep the drum set set up here, and
Yeah.
got another one. I got the mics, bloody blah. If you want video, I got 2 cameras, 3 cameras running, and all that stuff. And that's the cameras I got running when this whole deal started with the pandemic,
Yeah.
because people were asking me for video along with playing with the track,
Yeah.
So, and it's been good. It's been really good. It kept the boat afloat, so to speak.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's fun.
It is fun, isn't it? It's kind of it's a different bunch of brain cells, and
Yeah.
It's interesting. It's cool. I've been putting out a few singles with and made iMovies to go with them. That to me has been really fun too. It's been
Yeah.
intriguing, you know.
Yeah, yeah. And you get educated on different stuff, you know?
Yeah.
Like, it's it's crazy.
It's crazy. Hey, we need to definitely talk about Chick. So
Right.
let's talk about your relationship with Chick. I mean, you were tight with him, and
Yeah.
I think I think when I asked you to be on the show, that was right after Chick had passed. Yeah, I feel for people like you who are really close to him, and you know,
Well, we didn't even know he was sick.
right. Well,
No, no,
he
we didn't.
barely knew too, right? It happened very fast.
I guess. I mean, we found out the Thursday he passed
Wow.
by accident
God.
through Bill Rooney, who actually managed Chick. He was the last guy who managed Chick, and Evelyn, well, she had, I mean, I was in.
Evelyn managed Chick for a long time, right?
Well, Evelyn didn't really it was she behind the scenes. In my opinion, she ran Corea Productions.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But she didn't want to have that management job. She
Yeah.
just wanted but she kind of did in some ways.
Yeah.
I think they both did up until a couple of years ago.
Uh-huh.
But Evelyn's been with so many. Well, with Ron Moss, and then in the interim between managers, and then Bill Rooney. Excuse me. But Evelyn's my wife.
I was just going to say that. By the way,
By the way, Evelyn's my wife.
yeah.
She put up with me for 38 years. 39's coming up August 27th.
Wow.
So I remember I was in here doing something, and I told her I was coming in here doing something, and then I get a text going, "Where are you?" I'm going, I told you I told you I was in here. So when I came out, I went to the office, and of course she was had been crying. I go, "What's the matter?" She looked at me. She says, "Chick's gone," and I was like, "What?" Apparently, I don't know what kind of cancer he had, but I think he went in the hospital. I don't know. And I think he knew. I like I said, I don't know. This is just what I got. That he probably around December he found out, and he didn't want to. I guess that's his own business.
Yeah.
And and he wrote a note to all the He wrote a note to the musicians on the
Yeah.
I guess Facebook page or whatever.
Yeah.
And which I thought was really cool.
Me too.
And he was playing. From what I understand, he was playing until the very end. I think he had it from I heard because he'd have a family jam night with his family.
Yeah.
So apparently, all the way up until he split, he had jammed with his family at and I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, that's really
I
nice.
thought that was really great, and I feel for Thad and Liana,
Yeah.
Gail, and also the family back in Boston. The aunts and the uncles,
Yeah. Yeah.
and everybody who was near him, and then of course all the musicians that had played with him.
Yeah.
And yeah, our relationship started in 1978. And,
When you
I got
started
on board.
playing, what was the music? Was it like Return to Forever, or what was it? What was it?
The first band I was in with him was the 13-piece band, which it was called, and we toured Europe, Australia, and Japan, 3 months. And when we returned, we recorded Secret Agent. But we played everything from the semi-acoustic Return to Forever, you know, from Return to Forever,
Yeah.
all the stuff from actually Light as a Feather to Romantic Warrior.
That was a great period.
But we also played stuff from the Leprechaun, stuff from My Spanish Heart, and stuff from the Mad Hatter. Which was, Mad Hatter was just released when we went out on the road.
Huh.
We started the set with Night Sprite. And it was a long concert for a while until the tour manager told them how long we were playing on stage for. And which was 4 hours and 45 minutes.
Oh my God.
I mean, the band consists of 4 brass, 4 strings, Dave Liebman was playing, Jim Pugh was on the band, Ron Moss played trombone, Bob Satola played trumpet, and Al Vizzuti. And then Paula Hochhalter played cello, Judy Geist played viola, and Carol Shive and what's his name? Great.
You have an amazing memory.
Charlie.
God.
Charlie. Oh gosh, Charlie. Oh, he's gonna kill me. He'll probably watch this and go, Thomas. Did that same? Charlie. Anyway, incredible. Okay, I'm gonna get in trouble. Sorry, Charlie.
What did Charlie play?
First violin.
Oh, okay.
Matter of fact, I think he was revered in Los Angeles too.
Oh.
Charlie. Oh, Christmas. He's gonna kill me. Anyway, Charlie Veal. Sorry, Charlie. And they played all the. We had a little break when we had they played the day dance stuff like that. They played that stuff, and oh gosh, we played everything. And then the encore was Duel of the Jester and the Tyrant off of the Romantic Warrior record.
Oh, wow.
And it was fun. It was, like I said, flying between the seat of your pants. And I learned a lot from Chick that year. And we had a blast. We had a lot of fun off the road and on the road, and it was really great in recording. And he hit me to a lot of cool stuff. We recorded Tap Step at his house.
Oh.
So we did a lot of hanging out in the kitchen. He had a cassette player there, really good stereo, and he played me some Cuban stuff. And stuff that, Los Papinos, stuff that they sent him,
Yeah.
that wasn't recorded. And we just hang out and then, of course we'd be recording and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it was just the same sense of humor. We had a lot of fun just goofing around. He had a great sense of humor.
Yeah. I saw his at the Recording Academy in LA last year. We saw the movie that they made.
Yeah.
The last record. That was a great movie, really.
Yeah, it was.
Cool movie.
It was.
And he was there, so it was fun.
Yeah. Playful dude. And of course, prolific. Writing all the time. I'd never seen Chick practice. The only time I saw him practice is when he started doing when he started doing the Beethoven symphony.
Yeah.
What was it, G minor? That one. And like after sound check, he'd be practicing that,
Huh.
Da dee da 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 dee da 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 da.
I interviewed somebody who worked with him. I can't remember who, but they said when they were on the road and they went to his room, he had his keyboard and he was practicing in his room.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Excuse me, bite my nails. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I remember when he was composing at the time. But he likes it for composing and practicing or whatever, you know.
Yeah, yeah,
Likes a keyboard in there, you know.
yeah.
And I mean, yes, he did. He did. I'm just trying to remember. I mean, I always bring up this story about Chick. Again, it was the first tour I did with him. And we had a day off in Copenhagen. And Queen, we had the same promoter as Queen did. And that was the year that We Are the Champions and all that stuff came out and whatnot, you know.
Yeah.
And no, I remember I was digging. I said, man, I'm in Copenhagen. Wow, you know, it's like, whoa, this is smoking. So I had my breakfast, and in the lobby, there's the lobby that goes like here, and then there's like a horseshoe staircase that goes to the second, you know, kind of a half a floor,
Yeah.
you know. So I'm at the top of the stairs if you're coming into the hotel, I'm up at the top of the stairs on the left-hand side. And there's this big commotion going on. And you can see it outside from the windows, kind of opaque. They weren't, you know, they were like stained glass, you know.
Yeah.
And the door opens, and there's nobody in the lobby. And trying to squeeze through are each of the members of Queen, and they go running up the stairs like this. I just watched, just me and who was ever running up the stairs. And each of them, you know, Brian May, the bass player, you know, the 1, 2, 3, 4 up there. And they were having the worst time getting through the crowd like this. But like Moses, the seas parted, and Chick just walks in with a Tommy Bahama Hawaiian shirt, khaki pants, and his white capezios. And he comes just waltzing through like nothing happened. Like he had no problem getting through the crowd. He's just like walking, eating the apple. And he stops dead. Now there's nobody else in the lobby. He sees me at the top of the stairs. And he stops dead in the lobby. You know, has the apple in his hand, and he looks at me and goes, Tommy. I go, yeah, Chick. He goes, what's all the commotion about? I go, oh, well, Queen's in town. They just got into the hotel. He goes, oh. Walks a couple more steps, and he goes, looks up at me and goes, who's Queen? And I go, oh, they're a famous rock group. He goes, oh, well, I'll see you at dinner tonight. I go, cool. You know, that was one of my favorite stories to tell all the time, you know. There are a lot of great stories, but that was the best one, you know, I think, you know.
He was so nice. Yeah, he was very engaging and sweet, and
Yeah.
yeah, I recorded one of my albums in the studio with Bernie actually as
Yeah, Bernie.
engineer, and
I miss Bernie.
that was really a fun experience. Really a beautiful studio. You know, you had your choice of either piano. There was the Steinway and then the something. Anyway, that was really a nice experience. And, you know, it's just those days were, I don't know, it was like what we were talking about before, other lifetimes, you know.
There wasn't so much to think about,
Yeah.
you know. It was about doing what you were doing while you were doing it, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
And thinking of other people, and that still happens today. It's just that you don't see it much because it's all this
Yeah.
and that and the other thing, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Rather than just like, you know, communities, so to speak. I don't know. I mean, there still are, you know. I get a lot of flack for saying that, but it's just sort of like about making music and I don't know. I mean, you could still say that, at least about. No, it's still about making music. Yeah. It's just different. It's just.
It is different. It's different because there's so much technology.
That's what I was trying to say. You know.
It's so invasive into who we are and what we're doing.
Yeah. I mean,
But
it's good
Kind
to
of
have
makes the live stuff even better, you know.
Yeah. I mean, it's good to have the technology today. I mean, we're talking here and
Yeah.
whatnot. I could be here in Texas and you could be there in Los Angeles, and
Yeah.
we can have a conversation. And also, I can, I'm doing what I'm doing, and that's fantastic.
Yeah.
But there's let's just leave it at that. There's a lot of pros and cons.
It's not like growing up without these things in the music industry.
There you go.
And you're playing like 20 gigs a week. And
No,
it's not like
you're right.
that. Yeah.
I can't complain really. I can't complain.
Yeah. I wonder sometimes, like when I look at all these young people coming up in LA, I wonder if they're doing that, and I just don't see it. It's like
I gotta hand it to the younger musicians because there seems to be more of a challenge these days because there aren't the record companies, and then because everybody's got a like Logic Pro or whatever and has everything is saturated with stuff,
Yeah.
So I don't know. My theory is it's harder to find the really good stuff, pick that out and go with it for them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, the good news is they don't have a middleman. And if they're successful, they can get all the money. I think. I may be talking, out my what, but
Yeah, I don't know. That part is kind of, that's like kind of a big question mark in my mind.
see, I really don't know. I don't really know about the music biz, so I shouldn't be even talking about it. I just know that when I'm hired to do something, I go, what would you like me to do?
Yeah, yeah.
And they go, well, I want you to do this, and then I do that, and then if they go, well, we want, the deal.
Yeah.
Could you play this? See this? I go, yeah, absolutely, no problem.
Also, as far as like knowing what's going on in the industry, I mean, there's no rule book, Things work for some people and work for other people. So it's really, in the end, it's just about going straight ahead with what you do. And,
That's right. Straight ahead, strive for tone.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it.
You said you had a project that you were excited about that was new?
Oh, well, no, I was just so happy that he liked it. I'm right now, I've been doing stuff for this, remember Sandro Albert? He had a project called The Homeboys, and it's with videos. You can see it. They got a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
So what you do, you play to the tracks, and you put the camera on, and then you send them the videos with the track. They mix it and put a nice video together, and the tunes are great. Huh. That's one of the projects. The other ones is, people call me to get hired. I get hired to record on their projects or do video as well.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, of me playing whatever.
Yeah.
But and then this other project, which is kind of wild. It's you know who Neville Potter is?
Sure.
Yeah. Well, he asked me to do this drums with orchestra. It's called it's something he wrote called I Have Seen, which they're trying to get going, and the orchestrations and music is written by a composer in Norway. His name is Michael Strand. So we're going forth with these, back and forth with these. So I actually have to make up like these parts. And you go back and forth, and he goes, well, if you could do it a little bit that way, a little bit this way, a little bit that way, And it's working out, so I just did, we did the overture, verse 1, verses 1, and then verses 2 through 5, we did that already. And then we just did verse 14, and I got the approval just now as we were talking, because I went, yes, Because I got it the first time. I got the overture and the first thing the first time. Verse whatever it was. The second one I did, it wasn't hard, but it just took a little bit of shaping to get it right.
Yeah.
Because I'd never done this kind of thing before. And
Like
now
with,
this
with an orchestra, do you mean, or something?
Yeah. Well, he has the orchestra. He has everything orchestrated out. I believe some of it's real and some of it's on synths, and then they're going to get a real orchestra to record over the drum part. You know, but it's all orchestrated stuff, and it's beautiful. That they're singing in it, and of course Neville is the spoken word thing,
Oh.
and it's beautiful poetry. You know,
Oh.
and for those of you who know, Neville Potter wrote the lyrics to 500 Miles High. What, You're Everything?
Yeah, probably.
And Light as a Feather.
Yeah, that little period of time. Didn't he also write? Well, this is kind of different, but I think he wrote. Oh,
the Bud Powell thing.
yeah, he wrote the lyrics to Bud Powell.
Oh, for Chick, you mean?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's probably, yeah, he probably did. Because he wrote that at the time that we were out playing, and we used to play it all the time before it got recorded.
Bud Powell.
Yeah.
I recorded
about,
that one, and actually, I recorded it at Chick Studio. That was the.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we did that when Chick got the vocoder. And he wrote that I believe he wrote it in 82. And we used to, no, sorry. Yeah, maybe 81, 82. And we played it live a lot. And then I think you're right. And then Neville wrote lyrics to it. And then and then when did he record it? Who did he record it with? Oh, with Shaka Khan and Lenny and Stanley, I think.
The Bud Powell song?
Yeah.
You know, I don't remember if Chaka did it. She must have.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know when he recorded it.
Yeah.
But we used to play it a lot.
It was a great song.
Yeah.
Great song.
And
And the lyrics are great.
I remember.
Yeah.
I remember.
Yeah, really nice lyrics.
So take a tip from my Mr. Bud, right?
Yeah. So take a tip from.
Something like
Yeah.
Right.
I'm gonna send you. I'm gonna send you my little recording.
Great.
The piano player I worked with a lot in Japan, Phil Strange, and he wrote a really cool tag for it, like perfect tag for it. So, and it was with Peter Erskine and Mark Johnson.
Oh, wow.
Really nice.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was a beautiful recording.
Yeah, but Chick was, yeah, man. He was, I missed him, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
It still hasn't sunk in totally yet, as probably everybody else, too. You know?
Yeah, people were really, I mean, even people who didn't know him personally, but, had been basically under his mentorship,
Right.
in their lives. Yeah, really affected by it, I remember him speaking at an IAJE event.
Yeah.
And he was...
Was that in 82?
Yeah, something like that.
I
right?
was there. It was me and Bunny, and that's where I met Patitucci. Patitucci was playing with the Bill Watchers band.
Was that the year? That was the year that he spoke and he won.
I guess, yeah, because we were there.
Yeah, and he had, to me, he had obviously just gone through some kind of realization, spiritual kind of realization.
Might have been 1980. Anyway, go ahead, yeah.
Talking from, it was awesome.
Yeah, yeah.
Andrew wants to know, this, I don't know, even if he has an answer to this, Andrew.
Is that Andrew? Whatever?
Yes. It's funny that you say that because he and I always joke about that because I always
Swimmerhorn? Yeah, Andrew Swimmerhorn.
Who would you have loved to have played with, and who would you like to play with?
I would have loved to have played with Michael Brecker. Came pretty close.
Oh, cool. That would have been good.
Yeah, we were playing in Stuttgart. I was filling in for Dave with the trio. Bobby McFerrin, you can see that on YouTube too.
Oh.
Bobby McFerrin sat in with us, but we played 3 quartets as a trio.
Oh.
And Michael Brecker was standing in the wings, and he goes, "Man, guys, you sound great. Man, I remember all the stuff. You know, I wish I could have come out and played with you." And we looked at him and started yelling at him, going, "Why didn't you?" He goes, I was all ready because I know the stuff by heart. Like, I was like a little kid. And we were going, "Bok, bok, bok," you know? So I almost did, you know.
That would have been nice.
Who would I like to play with?
Yeah.
Oy vey. Off the top of my head, Christian McBride.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I'd love to play with him.
Yeah.
Acoustic and electric. He's a bad mother father. And he seems like, I met him once, you know.
Cool guy.
Yeah, very cool guy. Yeah.
He did that tribute to Chick too. He ran that.
Yeah, that was great.
It was great. It was
really
really nice. Yeah.
Yeah. I love that trio with him and Brian Blade.
Yeah.
Wow. That's another guy, Brian Blade, man. Holy crap.
Yeah.
What a musician.
Yeah,
So that's my answer.
Okay.
Now.
So should I play something with what you just said, or Chick, or what should I play?
Oh hell, I don't know.
Oh hell.
Let's see. Let me look.
We have you and
that one.
Chick
No,
and
not-
John. We
no.
have
No, not that
Listening
one.
Around
No,
Drum
no,
Library.
no,
Mitchell
not that
Foreman,
one. No.
Plaza Time.
Oh, jeez.
Oh,
That's it, I guess.
here's one. Wayne, Mitch, Gary, and you.
What's that one? I don't even know what that one is.
Oh, I guess maybe it's a recording. Oh no.
That's it's Umbria.
Yeah.
That was a fun band. Wayne was great.
That sounds great.
It was one of my favorite bands too.
Yeah.
What was I lucky?
Yeah.
I mean, I remember one time when I first started working with Wayne. I think this is all the Atlanta stuff, and there weren't any blowing sections.
Uh-huh.
So every night it was like the same. It was different. And I remember I said, "Wayne, what would you like me to play on this section?" And he'd look at me and go, "You know what you're doing," like that. Yeah. So, and that was a great group. Mitchell's great. Gary was great. We had a lot of fun. A lot of fun on the road.
This is really cool.
This is I can't remember the black hat, the lady in the I can't remember the name.
Yeah.
We did all the stuff off the Atlantis record.
Oh God, Mitchell looks so
Mitchell.
like a baby man.
No kidding.
Beautiful.
Oh, my favorite part's coming up.
that. Do that. Never seen this footage before.
Wow. All right. I'm going to. Wow, that's like amazing. That's one that you'll want to listen to again.
Yeah, I guess it's going back down memory lane.
Speaking of memory lane, let's see. Andrew said, "Can you talk about playing with Al Di Meola?"
Al Di Meola. It was great. It was a lot of fun. I mean, a lot of my my dear friend Kei Akagi, we played together a lot. I mean, actually, I feel like I've known him longer than I've known him. You know, I mean, he actually. Well, I've known Al since the days with Chick.
Yeah.
And then I guess Al. I had just finished with Wayne, and I guess Al was putting something together. So Kay told me about it. I said, "Well, you know, I'd like to play in it. You know, it'd be nice. You know, like two of us on the road or something like that. You know." And then that was a great band. That was Chuck Webb on bass, Kei Akagi, and myself. And I got Luis Conte on the gig.
Oh, really?
First, before he got the gig with Madonna.
Oh.
Then he left to get the gig with Madonna. Then we got Roger Squatero, who's a great percussionist. And then I was with him from 87 to 88. That was a great band. And we had a lot of great gigs, and of which it was funny. We did this gig in, where the hell was it? Was it somewhere in Germany or Berlin or something? And Al got my number just recently through Jeff Richmond.
Oh.
And so he sent it to me. He goes, "Tommy, you got to see this. This is a great performance." And then Al called me, and I hadn't talked to Al in years, you know.
Yeah.
And I said, "Yeah, it's a really great, it's a great performance."
I think it's from Berlin or somewhere in Germany, maybe West Berlin.
Yeah.
And yeah, you know, we all got. Well, I had the mullet, of which it wasn't that I went out and got the style of the mullet. Just that when I get my hair cut, it just turns out that way. Turns out like a mullet. You know, a little. Oh gosh. But hey, what are you gonna do? You know,
Hey, that's what was happening.
I have unmanageable hair. You know, but and it was great. You know, so I mean, we had a really good time. Those 2 years I worked with him. We did the Tiramisu record. That was fun, and no, it was great. Well, Al's closer to my age, so it was kind of cool that way. That you know. We talked a lot, you know,
Yeah.
so it was good.
Yeah.
So that's there you go.
All right. And then the other question from Roland is, which I ask people this sometimes. What record did you wear out as a kid?
Oh, I. You mean as a little kid or as a?
Yeah, just a kid
I wore out a lot of
growing
them.
up, or well, you don't have to pick just one. You can say several.
Oh gosh. Oh well, Four and More was one.
Uh huh.
Four and More, Miles Davis, Tommy, The Who,
Uh huh.
Live at Leeds. Any Beatles records.
Yeah.
Crescent, John Coltrane. Love Supreme.
Did you have a favorite drummer as you were coming up?
Well, Tony Williams, Joe Morello, Elvin Jones, Steve Gadd, Rick Marotta, Chris Parker, Bernard Purdy, Benny Benjamin, let's see, Clyde Stubblefield and Jabbo Starks.
I have to say you have a great memory. I mean, your memory is like classic. It's much better than a lot of people.
Sometimes I put the tea bag thing. I go for the refrigerator. So don't.
Well, that's a different thing, man.
Here's the cabinet and here's the refrigerator, right? And then I make some tea and then I go back to. No, that doesn't belong in the refrigerator. That goes in the cabinet, you know. And it's like, what else? Maceo Parker's brother who played on I Feel Good. I was just talking about him the other day. It'll come to me. Anyway, see what else. What other records? This is coming. Oh, jeez. I liked a lot of stuff. I liked Sly and the Family Stone.
Oh God, me too.
You know, big
That
shout
was
out.
well that particular
Gregorico. Big shout out to Gregorico.
Yeah. But Sly and all that stuff, that was super happening when I was in college, you know,
Yeah.
in Boston.
Uh,
I mean, all that stuff was so
Let's
funny,
see.
man.
Yeah, man. It was just like, I want to take you higher. Woo! And then Fresh. When Fresh came out. Oh, that record. Andy Newmark. Yeah. That's another guy. Andy Newmark. David Garibaldi, Tower of Power. Yep, anything Tower of Power. Thrust, Herbie Hancock, Mike Clark. Steve Gadd on Leprechaun and those 3 solo records, you know. Lenny White for sure.
Yeah.
Billy Cobham, Spectrum. Now it's coming. Lenny White. Larry Coryell, The 11th House with Snakefoot on drums. Alex Acuna.
Yeah.
Well, when I was a kid, Alex, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I sing the Body Electric.
Oh yeah.
I met him too. Unbelievable. Eric Ravat. Gosh, Ringo. Absolutely
Hey
Ringo.
man.
Hal Blaine, and I didn't even know it, when I was a kid. Let's see, I named all the Motown guys, and Roger Hawkins and Al Jackson.
Who are they?
Roger Hawkins was the Muscle Shoals drummer.
Oh, okay.
Played on Aretha Franklin's first big hit record. He played on I Ain't Never Loved a Man.
Okay, Roland says Zappa, and Michael Strand says Ginger Baker. Of course.
Yeah, Ginger Baker. Mitch Mitchell. Mitch Mitchell. Yeah, Ginger Baker was in there.
Tim Weston says Melvin Parker.
Man, Melvin Parker. Exactly. Thank you. Mitch Mitchell. Who's the guy that played on Truth? He was a bad mofo too. Not Max. He was great.
Hey, before you empty your brain out, Andrew wants you to shred around a little bit before we end off.
Oh, it's going to be a mess if I do. It's going to sound all.
The sound isn't set up. Okay.
Well, no, let's see if I can do it. Hold on. Nah, it's going to be a whole thing.
Tim says Dick Waller.
Mickey Waller. That's exact. Thank you. Who said that?
Tim Weston.
Thanks, Tim. Mickey Waller on True. Oh gosh, Shapes of Things to Come. Mitch Mitchell, of course. Keith Moon. Keith Moon is one of my heroes. How can I forget him? Keith Moon. Yeah, Electric Flag, Buddy Miles.
Oh yeah. How about Cozy Cole?
Yeah, Cozy Cole. Yes, sir. And Cozy Powell. And Buddy Rich. And
Louis Belson.
Louis Belson, who played with Basie. He used to put his cymbals like that. Butch Miles. A lot of people. Oh, Mel Lewis.
Oh,
Thank you very much. And he used to work at North Texas State. Blew my mind. He was off. I wanted to take lessons. Ed Soph. Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Ed Soph, right.
You know that Woody Herman record? The one that has
No, I don't.
a version of La Fiesta on it. What he was playing on that was like mind blowing. Ed Soph.
There's that drummer. He was really short, African American. He moved up to San Francisco, but he played here in the early days, like
Carl.
with not Carl Burnett. This guy was short. I can never remember his name. He was really
Did he
one
play
time.
with Bobby Hutcherson, Eddie Marshall.
No, but
There's another guy.
Yeah.
Oh.
Terry Bozzio.
Oh, Terry, yeah. Yeah, Idris Muhammad, too. Terry, yeah, of course. That's without saying. Ralph Humphrey.
Yeah.
Without a doubt, Ralph Humphrey. Gosh, there's so many of them. Ralph Humphrey, I go back listening to Ralph Humphrey with the Don Ellis Big Band.
Me too.
And I was amazed by him then. And then when he did Overnight Sensation, I didn't know he played that way. And then I went, whoa. I didn't know he played that way either. You know that Zappa record, Overnight Sensation? That music is great. The lyrics are not for everybody, but the music is great,
Yeah.
But
I talked to Chris Wabich here. You know Chris?
Yes.
And he
Great
played
drummer.
with Zappa's kid after Zappa passed. They went on the road. Yeah, they went on the road and did the show. He said they rehearsed for 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks, Dan. Dan has produced here is the all music credits for Tom Brechtlein. So we can actually look at it. But we've been talking for 2 hours, so I'm going to let you go.
Well, we haven't talked in a while.
I know. And this is fun to catch up and to, just.
It is. Actually, I did a recording for you.
That's right. You did. Yeah. I think it was my first recording.
Yeah, was Kay on it?
Russell Ferrante. I think that was the one you played on. Russell and maybe Gary Willis. I think
it was Willis. Yeah.
Yeah, that was. I had a lot of different people. I had Jim Lacefield on that record. And
yeah.
I had Clay Jenkins and John Hurd and.
Wow.
There was that record had a whole bunch of people on that.
It was a great time.
It was a great time. Yeah.
LA was popping.
Yeah, we were doing so many creative things.
Yeah.
It was great.
Remember Sal Marquez?
Absolutely.
Sal was great. He's playing with Robbie Krieger now.
Really?
Robbie Krieger's Jazz Kitchen.
No kidding.
Yeah, I saw him sitting there going, yeah, Sal. It's good to see him.
Wow. Interesting. I got to go look that up. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Wow. Robbie Krieger, Jazz Kitchen.
Arthur Barrow's playing bass. Joel Taylor's playing drums.
No, that's a great drummer, Joel Taylor.
Yeah, hell yes.
Yeah.
Anyway, did I say Bernard Purdy? I did.
Yes, you did. You said that early in the list.
Yes.
See, now Tom is going to actually write a list of all his favorite drummers. That's what Paul Krybick would do.
Well, yeah, right? Well, Cathy, I had a blast. Thanks for inviting me to do this,
Tom, thanks. It's been really fun, and I really appreciate you hanging out for 2 hours. I know it's.
Yeah, I didn't even realize it was 2 hours. I'm like,
it goes by fast, but in the beginning, when you hear 2 hours, you're like, 2 hours? But then usually people are like, it's been 2 hours, really?
Wow, yeah.
But thank you. And just to tell people, so Thursday through Sunday this week, I'm doing archives. So Dwight Tribble, great singer, is it Thursday. Friday is John and David Joyce, who come from this whole lineage of studio and background singers. And then Saturday, May 8th, the incomparable Brad Dutz, percussionist.
Oh, Dutz.
The Dutzer, he moved up to Washington State.
Bodacious.
Bradalicious.
Bradalicious.
And then Sunday, Teresa James, who's really great blues pianist and singer. And then next week for the 3 live days is Dominic Eade, one of the top jazz singers from New England and New England Conservatory. Mike Greensill is on Tuesday, who was one of the ultimate accompanists for people like Ella and those kind of people. And he's a really beautiful player. And then Dave Diggs, did you know Dave Diggs?
Yes.
Yeah, so Dave Diggs is on Wednesday. So anyway, that's it. For more information, go to my website. And if you live in LA and you're okay to come out and listen or jam, not this Saturday, but the following Saturday, I'll be at the conference room in Playa Vista with a great trio, and come out and hang out. It's been really fun. That's it. And say hi please give my best to Evelyn. And
I will.
Don't eat too much of her good food.
Oh, we're going to eat tonight. Ooh.
Do you know what
I don't know what we're eating tonight. I have no idea, but it's going to be good.
Oh, man. I'm going to show up at your door at dinner time.
Well, it's my birthday on Monday, but she's having a celebration on Saturday, and I think she's going to make a taco bar. So that's good enough for me.
How old will you be?
Uh-oh. I'm going to be 21.
Really?
Yeah.
Congratulations. You can do
I'm going to be 64.
Cool, man.
It's like this, so you do this. You see, wait, hold on. I got to give you. This is my imitation. This is like you go. This is a bicycle pump, okay? You go. Can you hear the sound? Can you hear the sound I'm making?
Yeah.
And then you go. So if I look like this, I'm like, hey. You know?
Yeah, I could talk about that too, but I won't. Of course, my body has actually always been kind of the same over the years. So yeah, but you know,
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
when I was a
definitely-
rail when I was a kid. It's like now it's like,
you must
yeah,
have you must have had a super amount of energy when you were a child.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
you know, didn't we all? Didn't we all?
All right,
All right.
Thomas.
All right, Kath.
Thank you so much.
Great
Really
seeing you.
appreciate it. Love to you and love to Evelyn.
Love to you too. All right.
All right, bye.
See ya.